Hi YouTube. Okay. I know it's been a while since I've been on. Um, I've been finishing up my finals for this spring semester, and I hope, depending on how one of my classes goes, as far as the grading, and I most likely have gotten my dean's list for the third time. So, all right, cool. Anyway, so I got a question and a request by a viewer that wanted to know what I have in my bug out bag. And after understanding what their concerns were, and the fact that they're just basically trying to get started, I thought about it, and it seemed like they were less interested in what I had in mind, but more of a situation of what should they have in theirs. And so there's a lot of things that will be covered in this little series here, because this is a massive question, and one that we are asked, quite honestly, quite often. So this is an attempt to kind of answer that question and all the facets of that question. So here we go. Let's get started. Okay, guys. The first thing that we have to understand when we're talking about a bug out bag is weight. Okay. You only want your bug out bag to weigh at maximum, and I mean at maximum, 30% of your body weight. So if you are a 100-pound person, you only want your pack to weigh 30 pounds. If you're a 200-pound person, you only want it to weigh 60 pounds, and so on and so forth. I will post that formula below for you guys, or you can just do it the simple way that I did, go by hundreds of pounds and then go from there. So that's something to understand. There's something that a person should carry in their pack all the time, hands down, end of story. And those are the 10 C's of survivability and the 5 redundancies, and those are given by Dave Canterbury. Okay, so let's go through those so that you understand what you need to have. Not necessarily brands per se. I'm not being brand loyal here. The thing is that you have to understand that all these items have to be quality. They have to have quality. They have to be able to last for a long time. Okay, so let's understand that. All right, now that we got that handled, the first thing that you're always going to want on you is a cutting tool. Okay, the first thing that you're going to want is a knife as a cutting tool, always. Now, there's always going to be talk of different blade styles, different blade lengths, different handles, different style, blah 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 blah. Okay, let's put this real simply. You want a knife that is very robust and one that can take an edge. If possible, you would like to have that to be high carbon steel so that you can strike a spark off of it with a flint. Not necessary, but a good thing to have. So why not have it by just choosing the type of steel that it's made out of. So with that being said, I've got a few examples here. So here we go. The one that I always carry around my neck is the Cold Steel Double Agent 2. It's a Grambit style. It's about a 3-inch blade. I've done a review on it before, and it fits my hand and it works great. I always have it on my body. When I wake up in the morning, I put it on. When I go to sleep at night, I take it off. On the back side, I've got a ferro rod, which leads into the next thing, which is a combustion device. You want to have something to create a campfire with. Okay. So, but anyway, before we get too far ahead of ourselves, I've got this knife. I've got these little knives are basically they are high carbon steel, so I can strike a flint off the back of them. So, you know, I've got a bunch of knives, always. Go figure, me have knives. Anyway, so when we're looking at combustion, more than anything, we're wanting surefire. Well, how do I ensure that I always have a surefire every time, all the time, end of story? Well, surefire is not always needed. The reason why I say that is this. When you need surefire, you have to have it on you. End of story. So you always have surefire in your pack. What is surefire? Surefire is a thing that if I am in the worst case scenario, it's 20 degrees outside, snow is blowing, and I've got snow up to my knees, and I'm trying to start a campfire with hypothermia setting in. How am I going to do that? Honestly, the best way to do that is a cigarette lighter and sterno. Okay? Sterno camp fuel, cigarette lighter, you won't have a problem. Honestly, it's this easy. You can just snap the top of this can off. It's this easy. You can snap the top of this sterno can off, and you see that pink jelly in there? That is the fuel, and if you hit that with a cigarette lighter, trust me, you will have a flame, and it will be very hot, and it'll last for a while, at least enough to start tinder on fire. So take a goop of that onto a stick, and you're good to go. Okay, guys, something else with sterno too is it will take a spark off of a ferro rod, so have one of those too. But sterno, ferro rod, or cigarette lighter, and that is your surefire. Now, most of the time you won't need to use that. A lot of the time you'll be able to effect fire off of a flint and steel kit or char cloth. So use those types of things before you use the sterno, because this is going to be a last ditch, holy crap, I need to get warm type situation. That you honestly shouldn't be in, but if you are, you have this with you always. The next thing is cordage. Now, cordage is so funny because there's so many. Cordage is a funny thing because there's so many different types of it out there, and some work well, and some are a little not, and some not. So, the two best cordages out there, in my opinion, are paracord and bankline. Now, paracord, I like it because it's easily broken down because it has the 7 different strands. But the problem that you run into with paracord is that it is not weather resistant. And if you live in certain areas like Pacific Northwest and places like Kentucky, Indiana, Ohio, the Eastern Woodlands region, the really wet parts of the country, paracord just doesn't stand up very well to moisture. It just doesn't. At least especially for an extended period of time. What you're going to want is you're going to want a tarred bank line. This spool right here I got from Walmart. I think I spent $4 maybe on it. But anyway, and I got this spool from Walmart for like $8. This is the thicker 250-pound stuff. This is the 113-pound stuff. So, I mean, either way, I've got plenty of cordage to last for a while. Bank line is easily broken down. I've got a video on that. The videos like that of it are available. Basically, for cordage, I would recommend having bank line. It's easy to get a hold of. It's cheap. It works. So, and it holds knots well. Paracord is great for wrapping your knives, knife handles. It's great for making a belt or making a paracord bracelet or something like that. or for a sling or something like that. But as far as actual day in, day out, not holding ability and everything else, bank line is just far superior in my mind. So use bank line. The next thing that we're going to be talking about is the container. Now, understand that a container that we're talking at this level is a container that can be carried easily. Okay, so we're talking about a canteen. We're talking about a aluminum bottle, something like that. And we're talking about, when we're talking about a container here, I am not talking about a 20-ounce pop bottle from Coca-Cola. No. I am talking about something that you can boil your water in. Not pasteurize it, boil it, okay? So that leaves out all plastics, especially all thermoplastics for sure. And it leaves you with aluminum and or steel. Aluminum is not as durable as steel, so for me, in most cases, aluminum is out. Except for aluminum canteen, but only because I have a stainless steel cup to go with it. Can I boil my aluminum canteen? Sure I can. Is it something that I would make a continued practice of? No, not necessarily, because it doesn't have the durability of the stainless steel canteen cup. Use the canteen cup, be happy. That leads me to my fifth thing, and that's cover. You're going to want a tarp or something like this. This right here is actually a canvas hammock. It was part of an old jungle hammock from the Army, way back in Nam days. And you just need some type of a cover to put between you and the elements. So you're looking at a blanket, you're looking at a tarp, you're looking at something like that. Canvas like this, it'll hold up and rain will reflect, will not necessarily soak through, but eventually it will get soggy. So a tarp is always better than that for that reason. But so anyway, have a cover, have a covering device. Blanket, tarp, tent is great. Honestly, understand that at first you're going to need a tent, basically so that you can build your shelter when you're out there. But either way, you're going to want to have good covering. I appreciate your comments. I appreciate your views. I appreciate your time. Defend your homes wisely.